The sky above Wakanda doesn't break from alien fire. It breaks from thunder that doesn't belong to Thor. A red blur tears through the Outrider wave. Bodies scatter like leaves in a hurricane. When the dust clears, a man floats above the carnage. Cape red as blood, eyes burning like dying stars. He doesn't speak. He doesn't need to. Behind him, a woman lands with the weight of ancient wars. Her sword sings as she draws it, a sound that makes even the Infinity Stones hum in response. The flash becomes a golden streak, pulling soldiers from death's grip faster than explosions can chase. Above, emerald constructs bloom across the sky. A lantern shields what Wakanda's barrier cannot. Thor watches. For the first time in centuries, he feels something he'd forgotten. Small. Batman's voice cuts through the comms, cold, calculating. Hold positions. Assess before engaging. Steve Rogers grips his shield tighter. Who the hell are they? No one answers. Because in the distance, Thanos stops walking. He smiles. Finally, a challenge. Apocalypse burns. Darkseid stands before the anti-life equation chamber, fingers tracing symbols older than creation. The Justice League has pushed too far this time. They've cornered him in his own throne room. It's over, Superman says, hovering above the flames. Darkseid smiles. Nothing ends, Kryptonian. It transforms. He activates the chamber. Reality screams. A boom tube tears open, not to Earth, not to any world they know. The League is ripped from existence, pulled through dimensions like leaves in a hurricane. Batman's last thought before the void takes him, he wanted this. Wakanda, a different Earth, a different war. The sky splits without warning. Not lightning, not alien fire, something worse. A dimensional rift tears across the clouds, energy bleeding into reality like an open wound. The battlefield. Freezes, Outriders mid-leap, Avengers mid-charge. As thunder that doesn't belong to any god shakes the world. Steve Rogers looks up. What the hell is that? Tony's voice crackles through comms. Friday's reading energy signatures that shouldn't exist. Like reality breaking shouldn't exist. Thor grips Stormbreaker tighter. His eyes narrow. That is not the Bifrost, he says slowly. That is something older. The rift pulses, and gods fall from the wrong sky. Superman hits the ground like divine judgment. The impact sends shockwaves rippling outward, flattening a wave of Outriders mid-charge. Dust erupts. Trees splinter. The earth remembers what it means to break. When the smoke clears, he hovers, cape torn, eyes scanning, fists clenched. He doesn't know where he is. The stars are wrong. The sun feels different. But the screams are the same. Clark! Wonder Woman's voice cuts through his confusion. She lands beside him, shield raised, sword drawn. Her eyes sweep the battlefield, burning structures, desperate soldiers, an endless tide of monsters pressing against a failing barrier. This isn't our Earth, Diana says. No. Superman's jaw tightens. But it's someone's. A shadow falls. Batman descends on grappling cables, landing in a crouch. His lenses flicker with data that makes no sense. Energy readings, atmospheric composition, gravitational constants. We're in a parallel dimension, Bruce announces. Different physics, different history, same crisis. Flash skids to a stop beside them, lightning crackling. Okay, quick recap. Weird portal, alien planet, giant monsters, people dying. Did I miss anything? Just the part where we save them, Aquaman growls, rising from a nearby river, trident glowing. Green Lantern descends from above, ring blazing. I've scanned the area. There's a barrier failing on the eastern front. If it goes, everyone dies, Batman finishes. Then we don't let it fall. On the Avengers side, confusion reigns. Cap, you seeing this? Sam Wilson's voice crackles. Steve Rogers stares at the newcomers. A man flying without armor, a woman with a glowing sword, a figure in black analyzing everything with cold precision. I see it, Steve says. I don't understand it. Natasha appears beside him, eyes sharp. They're fighting the Outriders. That makes them allies. Or opportunists, Tony cuts in, landing nearby. Friday's got nothing on them. No records, no origin. It's like they don't exist. Thor steps forward, electricity dancing across Stormbreaker. He studies the flying man, senses no magic, no Asgardian blood. Yet the power radiating from him rivals Odin himself. I do not know what gods these are, Thor says quietly, but I know war, and they know it too. The barrier shudders, Outriders flood through, and the question of trust becomes irrelevant, because survival doesn't wait for introductions. The Flash moves first. To the Avengers, he's a golden ghost, soldiers yanked from danger faster than death can reach them. Explosions miss their targets, claws close on empty air. Wakandan warriors stumble, confused, then realize they're alive when they shouldn't be. Did anyone else see that? Peter Parker shouts, webbing an outrider to a tree. Kid, I've seen everything today, Tony replies. Nothing surprises me anymore. Then Superman punches a Leviathan out of the sky. Okay, that surprises me. The massive alien beast crashes into the tree line, crushing hundreds of Outriders beneath it. Superman doesn't pause. He descends into the horde, each movement precise, controlled. Not the frenzy of rage, but the efficiency of someone who's fought monsters his entire life. Wonder Woman joins the melee, fighting beside Black Panther without a word exchanged. Their styles sync instantly. T'Challa's vibranium claws and Diana's ancient steel carving identical paths through the enemy. You fight well, T'Challa observes between strikes. Diana smiles grimly. I've had 3,000 years of practice. On the river flank, Aquaman commands the water itself. Outriders dragged into the depths don't resurface. The river becomes a weapon, surging and crashing at Arthur's will. Nearby, Thor watches with grudging respect. You control the seas, Thor notes. I am the sea, Aquaman replies, driving his trident through an alien skull. You? Thor raises Stormbreaker. Lightning cascades down in blinding arcs, vaporizing an entire wave. I am thunder. They share a look, then fight side by side. High above, Green Lantern's constructs stabilize the failing barrier, massive interlocking shields, replacing Wakandan technology with pure willpower. I don't know who you are, Lantern shouts to the defenders below, but you're not doing this alone anymore. Shuri looks up from her console, eyes wide. The barrier is holding. The energy source. It's not technological, it's emotional? Tony lands beside her, faceplate lifting. Welcome to my day. Guys making weapons out of imagination. That's either incredible or terrifying. Usually both. In the shadows, Batman works. He doesn't fight the Horde, he studies it. Command structures, attack patterns, retreat signals. His drones scatter across the battlefield, uploading data faster than any Wakandan system can process. Natasha finds him near a ruined outpost. You're not a soldier, she observes. No, Batman replies without turning. I'm the one who makes sure soldiers survive. That sounds like something I'd say. Bruce finally looks at her. Two spies, two shadows. Understanding passes between them instantly. There's something controlling these creatures, Batman says. Someone, and he's watching. Natasha nods. Big purple guy. Calls himself Thanos. Tell me everything. For the first time since the invasion began, the Avengers feel it. The pressure eases. Not because the enemy weakens, but because impossible reinforcements have arrived. Steve Rogers watches Superman tear through a battalion single-handedly. He watches Wonder Woman fight with ferocity that reminds him of legends, not soldiers. Avengers, Cap says into comms, voice steady but awed. New allies on the field. Treat them as friendlies. Tony's voice crackles back. Cap, we don't know who... I don't care where they came from, Steve interrupts. They're saving our people. That's enough for now. A pause. Then Tony. Fine, but I'm running background checks the second this is over. Steve almost smiles. The tide is turning. But somewhere beyond the battlefield, Thanos finally decides to move. He walks like inevitability, each step deliberate, each movement certain. The ground doesn't tremble beneath Thanos, it acknowledges him, like reality itself knows who approaches. The Infinity Gauntlet glows softly on his fist. 6 stones, 6 fundamental forces, the universe held in his palm. Superman senses him first, not through sight or sound, but through something deeper, a weight that presses against existence itself. He stops mid-flight, turning toward the approaching figure. Something's wrong, Clark says. Diana lands beside him. She feels it too, the presence of a conqueror, not a beast. Someone who has ended worlds not from madness, but conviction. Who is he? She asks. Thor arrives, lightning crackling dangerously. His face is harder than either has seen. Thanos, Thor growls, the mad Titan. He murdered half of all Asgard. He killed my brother. He seeks to destroy half of everything that exists. Superman's eyes harden. Why? Balance, Thanos answers. His voice carries across the battlefield, calm, measured, almost gentle. He stops 50 yards away, studying the newcomers with genuine interest. Resources are finite. Life is infinite. The equation cannot hold. Thanos tilts his head. You are not from this universe. Batman steps forward from the shadows, unconcerned by the Titan's gaze. And you're not from this planet. We both adapt. Thanos actually smiles. A human who doesn't fear extinction. Rare. Fear is just data, Batman replies. You're the variable everyone's scared of, but variables can be solved. The smile fades. I have solved civilizations, Thanos says softly. What makes you different? Superman answers by moving. He doesn't hold back. The first punch would have shattered mountains. Thanos catches it in his palm, the impact sending shockwaves across the field. Trees flatten, soldiers stumble. Thanos blinks. Impressive. He returns the blow. Superman is launched backward, crashing through the barrier ruins before stopping himself mid-air. Blood trickles from his lip. Not much, but enough. For the first time since arriving, he's been hurt. Wonder Woman attacks next, sword blazing with ancient power. The blade clashes against the gauntlet, sparks of divine energy scattering. Diana pushes, muscles straining, eyes locked with the Titan. I have killed gods before, she snarls. I have killed universes, Thanos replies. He backhands her across the field. Thor roars and descends, Stormbreaker aimed directly at Thanos' chest. Lightning cascades around him, pure Asgardian fury compressed into a single strike. The axe lands. Thanos staggers. For the first time, the mad Titan bleeds. You! Thanos touches the wound, staring at the blood on his fingers. You should have aimed for the head. The Power Stone ignites. Purple energy erupts outward, throwing Thor, Superman, and Diana apart like broken toys. The shockwave flattens everything within a mile. Batman watches from cover, mind racing. The stones, he mutters. Each one changes the rules. We can't fight physics if he keeps rewriting them. The Flash appears beside him, vibrating with nervous energy. So we take the glove. Simple. He stopped time and still tracked you before. He's adapting. Barry's shoulders slump. So what do we do? Batman's eyes narrow. We don't outpower him. We outthink him. Bruce, he has infinity on his side. And he has one weakness. Batman stands, activating his comms. He's curious. He wants to understand these new variables before eliminating them. That gives us time. Time for what? Batman looks at the Avengers, then at his own team. To become something he can't calculate. The battlefield becomes a crucible. Tony Stark lands beside Bruce Wayne. 2 billionaires, 2 geniuses, 2 men who prepared for everything except each other. "You're the plan guy," Tony says. "I can tell. Takes one to know one." "Your armor's impressive," Batman replies. "Nanotech?" "Bleeding edge. Yours?" "More practical." Tony actually laughs. "God, I like you already, and I hate everybody." Steve Rogers and Diana find each other in the chaos. "You lead them," Diana observes, blocking an outrider with her shield. "Someone has to." Steve hurls his own shield, the vibranium disc ricocheting through a dozen enemies. "I've led armies for millennia," Diana says. "You lead differently, not from strength, from belief." Steve catches his shield, meeting her eyes. "Belief is strength, just takes longer to see," she smiles. "Themyscira would have liked you." Thor and Arthur stand in the river shallows, catching their breath as battle rages around them. "Your world has gods?" Thor asks. "Plenty," Arthur replies. "Most are jerks." Thor laughs, genuine, loud, unexpected. "Mine as well. My brother tried to conquer Earth, twice." "Family, right?" "Family." They clasp forearms, a warrior's greeting that transcends universes. The Flash and Peter Parker evacuate civilians together, moving faster than fear can spread. "You're quick," Barry notes. "Spider reflexes," Peter explains, webbing a family to safety. "You're quicker." "Speed Force. Long story." "We doing origin stories later?" Barry grins. "If there's a later, definitely." Natasha and Batman share intelligence in a bombed-out command center, holographic data streaming between them. "Thanos believes in balance," Natasha explains. "Half of all life eliminated randomly. He sees it as mercy." "Mercy through genocide." Batman's voice is ice. "I've fought that philosophy before." "Who won?" Batman doesn't answer immediately. Then, "The ones who refuse to accept it." High above, Green Lantern and Scarlet Witch defend the barrier together, willpower and chaos magic weaving into something neither could create alone. "Your power," Wanda observes. "It responds to emotion." "Willpower, specifically." Hal strains against a wave of outriders. "Yours?" "Pain, mostly." Wanda's hex energy flares. "Sometimes hope." "Hope's better." "I'm learning that." Superman hovers above the battlefield, eyes closed, listening to everything. Every heartbeat, every desperate breath, every prayer for survival. When he opens his eyes, they're no longer uncertain. "Thanos believes mathematics will save reality," Clark says quietly. "He's wrong." Diana floats beside him. "What does save it?" Clark looks at her, at the warriors below, the impossible alliance forming through blood and fire. "Choice," he says. "The choice to protect instead of balance, to save instead of calculate." Thor joins them, lightning dancing around Stormbreaker. "Then we choose together." Below, Steve Rogers raises his shield. "Avengers!" The cry rises. Wakandan drums thunder. Batman's voice cuts across all comms, calm, certain. "Everyone, converge on Thanos, together." And for the first time in history, 2 worlds answer as one. Thanos sees them coming, all of them. Superman and Captain Marvel leading the aerial assault. Wonder Woman and Black Panther commanding the ground forces. Thor and Aquaman channeling elemental fury. Iron Man and Green Lantern painting the sky with light and fire. Flash and Quicksilver blur around the flanks, twins in speed if not blood. Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange bend reality at the edges. Hulk and something Batman deployed smash through the Outrider reserves. And at the center of it all, Batman and Steve Rogers walking forward, side by side. Thanos tilts his head. "Fascinating," he murmurs. You've merged. We've united, Steve corrects. There's a difference. Is there? Thanos raises the gauntlet. Unity requires sacrifice. Will you sacrifice half to save the whole? No, Batman answers. We'll sacrifice ourselves to save everyone. The gauntlet glows. Time stone first. The world freezes. Except for Flash, vibrating through stopped time, pulling civilians from the time stream. Except for Dr. Strange, whose eye of Agamotto burns against Thanos' control. Except for Superman, who strains against frozen seconds through sheer impossible will. Thanos frowns. You resist. We adapt, Superman growls. Time resumes. The assault begins. It's not a battle. It's a symphony of violence. Thor and Stormbreaker crash lightning. Aquaman commands the very water in the earth to rise. Wonder Woman's sword, blessed by gods Thanos has never heard of, carves through his defenses. Iron Man's nanotech evolves mid-fight, analyzing the gauntlet's energy patterns. Green Lantern's constructs become specifically designed counters, shields against the Power Stone, cages against the Space Stone. The Reality Stone flares. Lantern's constructs dissolve. But Scarlet Witch catches reality before it breaks, her chaos magic wrestling Thanos' alteration to a standstill. You change what is, Wanda snarls. I change what can be. Thanos is actually pushed back. The Mind Stone pulses. Psychic assault erupts outward and shatters against Batman's mental defenses, trained against Martian telepathy, hardened by decades of psychological warfare. Bruce doesn't even flinch. Telepathy requires fear, Batman says coldly. I accepted my fears years ago. Thanos' eyes widen slightly. You are not ordinary. None of us are. Superman strikes, not with speed, with precision. Every blow targets the gauntlet's joints. Every impact designed to stress the metal, to separate stones from settings. He's not trying to overpower Thanos. He's trying to disarm him. Thanos realizes too late. You're not fighting to win, the Titan breathes. You're fighting to remove options. First rule of strategy, Superman replies, fist crashing against the gauntlet. Limit your enemy's choices. The Power Stone cracks in its setting. Thanos roars. The remaining stones activate simultaneously. Space, reality, soul, mind, time, unleashing in a desperate cascade of cosmic energy. The world stops. Not frozen, broken. Reality shatters into infinite fragments. Every hero sees something different. Their greatest fears, their deepest losses, timelines where they failed. Superman sees Krypton dying again. Batman sees his parents falling forever. Thor sees Asgard burning without end. Thanos stands in the center of broken existence, breathing heavily. This is the truth, he announces. Infinite suffering, infinite loss, eternal imbalance. His voice echoes across dimensions. I offer mercy. I offer release. Half the pain gone forever. You call me mad, but look at what existence provides without my guidance. For a moment, the heroes waver. Then Steve Rogers stands. In every fractured timeline, in every broken reality, the same man rises. I've seen worse, Steve says, and I've seen better. The difference isn't balance, it's choice. Diana rises beside him. We don't accept inevitability, we create possibility. Clark rises. You see mathematics, we see lives, every single one worth fighting for. One by one they stand, Flash and Quicksilver, Thor and Aquaman, Tony and Bruce, Wanda and Strange, Natasha and Diana. Two worlds, one purpose. Thanos stares at them, genuinely confused for the first time. You would suffer infinitely rather than accept reduction? Yes, they answer, together. Reality snaps back, not because Thanos allows it, because they refuse its breaking. Combined will, combined hope, combined defiance against a universe that insists on tragedy. The Infinity Gauntlet flickers, cracks spread across its surface. Thanos looks at his weapon, then at the army of impossibility standing against him. This universe, he says slowly, has become contaminated with variables. Superman steps forward. You mean hope? Thanos meets his eyes. Something passes between them. Not respect, not hatred, recognition. Two beings who refuse to accept limits. Perhaps, Thanos admits. But hope is temporary. Balance is eternal. We will meet again, across whatever dimensions separate us. He raises the damaged gauntlet. Space bends. Before anyone can react, Thanos is gone. The battlefield falls silent. Not victory, not defeat. Something in between. Steve Rogers lowers his shield, exhaustion finally showing. Is he? Gone, Batman confirms. Not dead. He'll rebuild. Find another way. Thor drives Stormbreaker into the earth, leaning against it. Then we shall be ready. Diana sheathes her sword. Together? Tony's faceplate lifts. He looks at the League, strangers from another reality, warriors who fought beside his team without question. Yeah, Tony says finally. Together. Superman floats above the battlefield, watching both teams begin the long work of recovery. Wakandan soldiers embrace. Medical teams mobilize. Somewhere a child cries. But this time there's... looks toward distant stars. There are infinite universes, infinite variations, and somewhere among them, his eyes glow with renewed purpose. Infinite solutions. The ship's engines ignite, and the mad Titan begins hunting across dimensions. The end, for now.